My name is Krista Erickson, and I am a sales manager for the Travel Corporation, shortened for TTC Tour Brands. I live in
Thanks.
Minneapolis, Minnesota, so I'm not too far away. And I don't know if you recognize any of the brands below. Insight Vacations, Brendan Vacations, Luxury Gold, Cost Saver, Kentucky, and of course Trafalgar. If you've traveled on any of those brands, I can see you raise your hand. If not, that's okay too. Today, what I'm going to do is talk about my Trafalgar brand because Judy has picked out some amazing itineraries in partnership with Trafalgar, and this is going to be the best of Hawaii. So this is next, just coming up this winter. So February 27th through March 8th. It's 10 days, 4 days on Oahu, 3 days on the Big Island of Hawaii, 3 days on Maui. And then the other itinerary that she has picked out is Canada's Rockies. And this is for next fall. Again, I love this itinerary. It's 7 days. So, depending on your schedule, you don't have to take a lot of time off of work or you don't have to be gone from home a long time. It's essentially Calgary to Banff, but you do fly in and out of Calgary. So what I'm going to do first, though, is just talk a little bit about my Trafalgar brand and what it means to take a Trafalgar tour. If you do have any questions, you can just pop them in the chat there or, ask as we go along. But hopefully at the end here, we'll have the answers to all your questions. So with Trafalgar Tours, we do tour differently. And what I'm going to do is talk about some of those things that we do to tour differently. Some of those things that go kind of beyond the guidebooks, if you will. So those local secrets that you want to see, the one of a kind experiences, and we call that Be My Guest, and I'll go into detail on that. Responsible travel. That's important as well. We call our the things that we do make travel matter, and I'll explain a little bit about that. And then, of course, all the details. All the details are taken care of, so you can just sit back and enjoy the ride. You don't have to worry about how you're going to get around. So when I talk about all those little cool things being taken care of, your main point of contact and the main person who is taking care of all those details is going to be your travel director. Your travel director is somebody that you will meet that very first evening, afternoon when you arrive in destination. And they're with you from the start of the trip to the end of the trip. They are truly your friend in the destination. They're incredibly knowledgeable and they're incredibly fun. If you have any questions on, maybe you've got a day free and you think, where do I want to go for lunch? Or I want to get that perfect Hawaiian shirt to bring home. Where do I do that? These travel directors are going to give you assistance with that. They're also there to just help show you around and share off their amazing city or state or country, depending on where you're traveling to. So we're a full tour operator. So you will have a travel director, you will have a coach driver, and our coach drivers are absolutely amazing. It is their job to get you safely from one city to the next. And then we also have local specialists. So the local specialist is typically from that city that you're visiting. So remember I said you'll have that travel director and they're there all the time, but they also bring in their friends, if you will, that might live in Calgary. And so that person in Calgary is going to give you that city tour. A lot of times they're retired professors, they're retired teachers, but regardless of their profession, they're incredibly knowledgeable. And then I talked about those Be My Guest experiences, and we incorporate a Be My Guest experience into each one of our itineraries. And this is where you have a chance to meet a local in their home or place of business. And I'll talk about that when I reach those points in the itinerary and what that Be My Guest experience is. The local secrets. So remember I kind of talked about seeing those things beyond the guidebook. So this picture here, there's an opportunity to visit some out of the way waterfalls. Or, maybe you want to learn the secret to surfing. You'll have time to do that. And you can ask your travel director how to do that as well. Responsible travel. I did talk about that as well. This really has to do with our partnership with the United Nations. It's about 15 years ago, we created the Tread Right Foundation, and there are 15 sustainable development goals. And so when you are on one of our trips and there's a Make Travel Matter experience, it is going to match one of those goals. And it's just some of the unique differences that we offer. So let's get into the fun part, our best of Hawaii itinerary that Judy has picked out. I love this trip because you have a chance to really spend time on three of the main islands. So like I said, Oahu, Maui, and Hawaii. It includes 9 breakfasts, so you get breakfast every day, 1 lunch, and 4 dinners. So that first day, you're going to arrive to Hawaii, and of course, you're going to get greeted in aloha style. You will probably have a lei given to you from our travel director. I don't know if he'll be wearing singing for you like that, but they're usually pretty fun. And then you're going to meet them. They will give you just kind of a mini tour, and then you're going to go for dinner that night on Waikiki Beach. Your hotel is the Twin Fin. I was talking to Judy and the team at Bursch today, and just give them a little history on what a twin fin means. So if you are looking at a surfboard, and if you flip over the backside, you'll see a fin that kind of sticks out. If there's 2 fins, they call it a twin fin. And so that's where this particular property got its name. It's right across the street from Waikiki Beach. Keep in mind that Waikiki is a city on a beach. So there's lots of activity, lots of fun stuff to do. The twin fin, when I was there a few years ago, they were having it was like an award ceremony, if you will, for the top surfers in the area. But it's just kind of a neat hotel. It's got a tiki bar up on top, so you can kind of take a look, enjoy your wine, as I see, I think it's Marcy and Dave are doing, or whatever, whatever your drink is, a Mai Tai. So it's a beautiful bar. The next day, you are going to get to enjoy the coastal views of Oahu. So you are going to, you're going to start in Waikiki. You'll see you'll visit Diamond Head. You'll go to the Blowhole. Then you're going to head up to the North Shore. You might get a peek at the Dole Plantation. Also, this time of year, so the winter is when they have the big waves. So that's when the big surfers come and they have the big competitions. So if you're lucky, you might see some big surf and some famous surfers. You never know. And then later in the day, you will head back to Waikiki, and there is a couple of optional experiences that you can choose to do or not. So what I also like about this itinerary is there's a lot of free time mixed in as well. So it's a good chance to see those important sites, but then, if you just want to kick back, you can do that too. So one of the optionals that we're offering is the Polynesian Cultural Center. And there's actually, you can do that in 2 ways. You can just visit the center. You get up close with what happens in local villages, watch artisans from the 6 different Polynesian cultures with jewelry making, preserving history. And if you want, you can also tag on an evening meal. So it's really just up to you to decide what you want to do. The next day is a completely free day. So if you just want to chill on the beach all day, that's great. If you want to go shopping, that's, okay too. Something I always like to do when I'm there is go to the Duke's restaurant. It's on Outrigger. They always have good live music and just kind of a good vibe. So it's truly your day to do what you want to do. Tonight, you do have an included dinner. And again, it's featuring local flair. And it's just a great way to kind of talk about your day after you've been spending it all day on Waikiki. The day number 4, this is fun too. This is when you get a chance to visit Pearl Harbor. A lot of people, if you've never been to Pearl Harbor before, you think you can just walk in. You can't walk in. You have to have tickets, and we're going to be very organized for you and make sure that you get to see Pearl Harbor and to pay your respects to all those brave soldiers that lost their lives during the strike. So you'll have a visit to the National Memorial, and then also to the USS Arizona Memorial, and that's what this aerial view is. Later, you're going to go to the National Cemetery, which is also called the Punchbowl Crater. And then later, you are going to get a downtown walking tour of Honolulu. So you're going to have a chance to see Ione Palace, which is the former home of Hawaii's last reigning monarchs, and it is the only royal palace in the United States, so pretty cool. And then you'll also have a chance to just kind of if you will, discover that downtown area. It's pretty small, but it's fun to walk around. Later, you're gonna head back to Waikiki and just have an amazing evening, and you can do what you wish. The next day, and all flights are included with the price of this, you are going to fly to the Big Island, or the island of Hawaii. What I love about this particular tour is you're going to fly into a town called Hilo. Hilo is on one side of the island and Kona is on the other. A lot of times when folks go to the Big Island, they're just, going in and out of Kona. What you're going to be doing is flying into Hilo, and that puts you really close to this Volcanoes National Park. I think this is a national park that everybody should visit. It's absolutely stunning. It's in between two live volcanoes. So if you've been to Hawaii before, I know Judy has been several times, you might be lucky enough to see some of that real live lava, but you'll have a chance to check out the Thurston Lava Tube, just have a chance with your travel director to get a tour of the park and just enjoy the park and the amazing landscape. And then later that day, you will head towards your hotel, but wait, you stop at a beach park. That's right. Punalulu Beach Park. So that is famous for the black sand. So you're going to see the black sands and then also the green sea turtles. So you got to make sure you hit it all. Then you head to the Outrigger Kona Resort and Spa. The Outrigger, again, right on the beach. So it's actually kind of sits on top of cliffs. So it's got great views. It's got a multi-level fantasy pool and then a 200-foot water slide if you're so inclined. But it's got amazing sweeping views of the Pacific Ocean. So you're going to truly love that property. So the next day, this is where you have a chance to do the Be My Guest and a Make Travel Matter experience. So what's really cool about this hotel is it's right next to the Manta Ray Learning Center, and it's actually at your hotel, but you are going to have a chance to get up close and personal with these giant manta rays. You'll have a local specialist that is going to come and explain to you everything that they're looking at. And the reason this happens is because the lights from the hotel shine on into the water and attracts all those manta rays. So a pretty cool experience. And then next, you are going to go to a location called Kona Salt, and you're going to meet the woman here, and she is going to talk to you all about salt production. And you're going to get a chance to taste these different salts and just kind of explore their different flavor profiles, and also how they work with the local island people. And then after that, you are on the island of Hawaii. You have to go to a coffee farm. The coffee farm that we choose to take you to is called Greenwell Farms. And it is, they've made coffee there for over 150 years. So it really kind of matches tradition along with modern sustainability. So it's a very immersive tour. You're going to get to learn how, the coffee starts from the plant seed all the way up to the cup. And of course, you'll get to try some of that. You'll see how they foster diverse crops. So they mix in things like pepper and vanilla, and along with the coffee. So it's a great experience, a great tasting experience. And again, that's our Make Travel Matter experience. Day 7, again, this is going to be a completely free day. So if you just want to chill, you're fine to do that. If you would like to choose from one of our optionals, we've got a couple of optionals that you can choose from. So maybe you want to go snorkeling that day. So you can go snorkeling. They'll take you out to Captain Cook's Monument. You'll learn about the history and the culture, and you will also have lunch included with that. Or you can do go to the Kohola waterfall, and this is an off-road adventure and a trail walk. So you'll get a chance to see those waterfalls that I kind of showed a little bit earlier. And that evening, dinner is included, and it's going to be a luau, a traditional Hawaiian luau. So you'll get to try all the food, all the local flavors, and of course, try some of those amazing cocktails that you can have when you do a luau. So the next day you are going to fly to Maui that morning. And then when you land, you will have a stop at the Lau Valley State Park, just a chance to stretch your legs. And the scenery is really great. And they have some beautiful trails. One of the peaks there is called the Needles. I believe this is a picture of it. And so you'll have a chance to do that. And then you will head back to the hotel that you're staying at in Maui, which is the Hyatt Regency Resort, very close to Whalers Village. I can tell it's the end of the day, where you have a chance to go shopping. There's restaurants. Everything you need is right there. Now we're coming up on day 9. So again, this is a free day. So if you just want to chill and enjoy the hotel, you can. They've got a spa, a salon, they've got a rooftop bar, there's a golf course if you so fancy, but you can also choose to do a couple of optional experiences. So if you want, you can do a whale watch. Judy's chose well because this is the time that the whales are going to be in Hawaii for the warmer waters. So if you want to get up close and personal, you can hop on a catamaran, a premium whale watch catamaran, and it limits to just 35 guests. It's 2.5 hours. You get front row seats. You can, sip on cocktails, have some appetizers, and hear stories about those gentle giants, if you will. I get a little motion sick, so I did that once, and that was enough for me. I watched them from shore. The other option is a Maui snorkeling adventure. So we take you to the reefs right off of West Maui. So you start your day with the continental breakfast, and then you get to swim along the turtles and the dolphins and all the beautiful, beautiful tropical fish, and then you will have an amazing barbecue lunch and head back. And then that evening you do have dinner included. And the dinner is actually your celebration dinner, because the next day, sadly, you are departing from Maui. This is a picture that I took off of our Instagram feed, and it is from a client, Erin Yates, and she had just posted about how special this trip was to her family. It was her aunt's dream to travel to all 50 states, and she wanted to do the 50th state, Hawaii. She wanted to do it up big, and so they chose a Trafalgar tour. And it appealed to her, this trip did, because she could see all 3 of those islands. And so she just wrote our guide, the trip appealed to her because she could see several islands in Hawaii in one trip. Our guide, Michael, was local in Hawaii and provided us a wealth of information about Hawaii. And he peppered in his own personal stories while growing up there. Seeing and experiencing Hawaii in this way was priceless and the perfect way to celebrate this milestone in her life. Highlights include visiting a locally owned salt farm in Hilo, night manta ray snorkeling on the Big Island, a coffee farm in Maui. Mahalo to Trafalgar and travel director Michael for making my aunt's dreams come true. So it truly is an amazing trip. We've got listed here what's included and what's not included. It's a list that Judy can go over with you, just kind of high level. In regards to gratuities, everybody asks about those. Gratuities for like the restaurant, the hotel, those are included. The portage, because you don't have to schlep your luggage from the hotel room to the coach. We take care of that for you. That's all included, but the gratuities for the travel director, the coach driver, and those local specialists are not. Of course, the meals are included, the audio headsets. The audio headsets are really nice. They're little whisper boxes. So you just put a little thing in your ear, and it's very light and small around your neck, and you can kind of listen as you wish. So that's included. The transportation and the coaches, of course, is all included. Those optionals that I talked about, remember about maybe doing the catamaran or maybe snorkeling, those do cost additional money. But what's nice about those optionals is you don't have to choose them until you're on trip. I know sometimes I think, oh my goodness, I want to sign up for everything. And then I get there and I'm like, I think I kind of want the day off. So, and also too, the travel director will be able to explain in more detail, way better detail and better detail than I am, what all that optional includes. So you, again, like I said, this is your trip and you have the flexibility to do what you want. So you've hit the beaches of Hawaii. Now this fall, you're going to join Judy again and do the Canada's Rockies. This is an amazing trip. It's Calgary to Banff. Essentially, you'll fly in and out of Calgary, and you will get to discover the beautiful Canadian Rockies. I love this itinerary because it's 7 days. So, if you don't want to be gone a long time or, your schedule doesn't allow, you can pretty much get it done, in 1 week. So you got 6 breakfasts, 1 lunch, 2 dinners. You will fly into Calgary that evening and that afternoon, and then you will meet your travel director. Remember, I said you meet him that first evening. You'll have a welcome dinner. What else is kind of cool about this? When I was in Calgary, so I live in Minneapolis. I don't know if anybody on the call has been to Minneapolis, but we have skyways that connect the buildings in downtown Minneapolis. Well, they have the same thing in Calgary because it's very cold, but it's colder in Calgary because they're farther north. And they call them 15s because they're 15 feet off the ground. And they have more of them than we do here in Minneapolis. So I had to Google that to make sure the travel director was telling us the truth, and they were. But Calgary's a really fun city. There's some really cool architecture too, and there's a really cool museum. If you have time, it's a music museum, and it talks about all these Canadian artists who are, who are famous. Yeah, sorry, Nickelback's in there, but it's just an amazing museum. And like Shania Twain, and it's right downtown, easy to get to from the Westin Hotel. You can just walk. There's a lot of cool museums downtown in that short area. So day 2, let's get on to the Rockies. I was getting off on a tangent there. So you're going to head to the Rockies and you're going to go see Lake Louise. Can't promise the rainbows in this picture, but it is a stunning drive. So you're going to drive on, it's what's called the Icefield Parkway, and it is one of the most scenic drives in North America. So it's a double lane stretch of highway that goes from Jasper to Lake Louise, and it takes you through the Continental Divide. And actually, if you're lucky, there's like over 100 ancient glaciers in that area, and you're probably going to see a few of them. One of the things you will do is see Athabasca Falls. It tumbles over this really wide ledge in a tight canyon. So it actually makes it one of the most powerful waterfalls in the Canadian Rockies. So day 3, you are going to get to enjoy Jasper National Park. And in true Trafalgar style, we're going to take you out on the lake and you are going to get to discover Spirit Island. So you'll have a boat. You can kind of see Spirit Island here. What's interesting about Spirit Island is you're not allowed to go on it. The island is very significant to the indigenous Stoney Nation people. And but you'll still be able to get up nice and close and get some amazing pictures. Once you're in Jasper, we do this canyon walk. It's called the Malign Canyon Walk. It's guided. It's a really beautiful walk. So it's not, there are some like sheer rock that you're right next to, but the path is very wide, so you feel very safe, but it's also just very beautiful. You've got the river running down, and it's a beautiful walk. And then later you're going to do that Be My Guest. Remember, this is where you meet you meet somebody at their home or their place of business. These 2 individuals that you're going to meet are actually from the Netherlands. They have been in Jasper for 10 years, and they started Jasper Theater Productions, and they talk about the Canadian Rockies. I mean, how they fell in love with the area, and they just talk about what makes this town so special. And you'll also have a lunch with them. So it's a really fun afternoon. Day 4, this is cool. This is where you get to try one of those ice explorers that you see on any marketing piece you've ever looked at of the glaciers or northern Canada. So you'll get to go on one of these ice explorers. You will get to step on one of the largest non-polar ice fields in the world, which is the Athabasca Glacier. So you'll stop there, you'll be able to take pictures. If you want, you can drink some of that glacier ice, but that's not my jam, but you could certainly try it. And then after that, you'll head to Banff and you will probably view one of the largest lakes in the park, which is Bow Lake. Again, really, really beautiful. You're going to be really close to a town called Canmore the next day. This is day 5. So Canmore is it's a beautiful town. It's known for these mountain ranges. It's got 3 peaks. It's called the Three Sisters. Something you're going to get to do, though, of course, is something that's very Canadian, and that is hockey. And we're not just going to take you to a hockey game. You are going to actually get to play hockey with a local. So that's very Trafalgar-like. What we're going to do is take you to an ice rink, and you're going to meet a former Canadian hockey professional, now coach, and they just talk about firsthand about the game, the experiences. You actually get to suit up in all the gear and get out and shoot some pucks. If you're, they're very good at this. They explain how it all works. It's really, really fun. It's a chance to get out of your comfort zone a little, and it was a great time for everybody. Later that day, you will be able to go to Banff, and you can just kind of stroll around and observe and just enjoy the beautiful city of Banff. An optional experience is to go up the Banff gondola. So when you go up the Banff gondola, you are going to get up to about 7,800 feet, I believe. Yeah, no, 7,500 feet. It's the top of Sulphur Mountain. So you get up there, there's a beautiful restaurant, there's a walkway if you're interested in doing that. So the Banff Skyway is called. It's just some beautiful views up there. And you have a chance just to enjoy your afternoon and evening. The next day, which is day 6, you are going to have a chance to do another Make Travel Matter experience. And this is where you're going to meet Brenda Holder. She is of Cree and Iroquois descent, and she is called a knowledge keeper. And she's going to teach you all about the importance of the buffalo in Cree culture and the connection that their culture holds with that animal. And then later that day, if you're interested, you can do an optional. This takes you to Yoho National Park and Moraine Lake, and it's in the Valley of the 10 Peaks. This optional is actually, if you're interested, is going to take you into British Columbia. So you'll cross over once again the Continental Divide at an area called Kicking Horse Pass, and you will head to the spiral tunnels. You'll see a famous railway that was built in the 1900s. Again, just another great way to spend your afternoon if you so desire. And then later that evening, you will have your celebration dinner. And the next morning, you will get up and have your drive back to Calgary. It's about an hour and a half from Banff, another beautiful drive. You'll arrive at the airport around 11:30. And then with that, you can either spend your day in Calgary and fly home, or yeah. So that would be the end of the trip. And again, basically the same things are included. And so the same things are included and not included, the same setup before. Either trip, if you're interested, you can call the reservations, you can email Judy, she can answer any questions, but also the advisors and our partners at Bursch Travel can also answer any questions that you might have and assist you with the booking process. So with that, we'll see if there are any questions. I can stop sharing my screen here. I don't know if anybody put anything in the chat.
Have you muted yourselves?
Yes.
Okay, so if anyone wants to jump in, no questions at this time? Great to see some friendly faces on the other side of the camera. We are very excited about both of these trips. What I love about Trafalgar is as Krista mentioned, the local people that come and talk with us and show us things about their lives and this area that they're in, and also the responsible travel program where we get to participate and see what they're doing. But there's also a lot of fun things in these trips, and I think it's a nice balance of seeing things and yet having a couple of days off to enjoy yourself the way you want to. So if you want to go shopping or you want to relax or take a different tour or go to the beach, or just enjoy the beautiful hotels that we're staying in, you have that option. I'll be traveling with you, so happy to help you with anything. I've been to these destinations before, can assist you with finding things and answering questions and so on. But we have great travel directors with us too, so you'll be well cared for.
Yes.
Okay, no questions? All right. Well, on behalf of Burst Travel, we thank you so much for attending tonight